So I am ready to call our last storyteller of the show, Sage Tyrtle. She is a professional storyteller who tells stories all over the world, most recently in India. Her stories have been featured on NPR and CBC radio, and she is a Moth StorySLAM winner. She teaches the art of storytelling in schools, to individuals, and in corporate settings. Let me find her on the screen. Please welcome to the screen, Sage Tyrtle.
Hello, what a lovely afternoon, and I've really enjoyed hearing everybody's stories. So I'm on the subway, and I hear a man saying, "How are you going to defend this woman from what I'm saying to her?" And my first instinct is to get off the subway, but my body has other ideas. I look down and I'm striding the length of the subway car. He's really easy to spot. He's sitting here and she's sitting here. The young woman is looking at the ground and he is staring at her. And then he looks up and sees me. You with the blue hair. You are the ugliest woman I've ever seen in my life. The most you could hope for is that someone finds you acceptable. And his words sound so familiar, and I'm racking my brain and I realize, oh my God, it's like my 13-year-old self has possessed the body of this man on the subway and is now talking to me. And I'm dying to be like, oh my God, welcome to the future. Okay, so much has changed. For one thing, Doogie Howser was gay like the whole time. I know, but he's already talking again. And fat. You are incredibly fat. Nobody on this subway car can stand to look at you, you ugly, fat, blue-haired lesbian. And in my head, I am laughing. In terms of compliments, lesbian comes in at number 2, right under smart. I mean, yes. I'm horrified by the great joy this guy is taking and saying words that he obviously thinks I'm going to be repeating to myself for the rest of my life as I cry mascara tears in the mirror. But he also has no idea that I made peace with my body while Ronald Reagan was still president of the United States. A guy sitting nearby says, "Hey, buddy, time to be quiet." And he is quiet for a little while, but when it's obvious that I'm not getting off the subway, he says, "Get away from me, you ugly freak. You look like a female grizzly bear." And in my head, I'm thinking, I could totally open a cafe in Toronto and I could call it Lesbian Grizzly Bear and I would earn $1 trillion. I can only think of 2 things to say. The first thing is what my mom would say in all sincerity, which is, "You seem so distressed. How can I help you?" But I hate this man, and what I want to do is set him on fire, so I don't say that. And then there's what I am dying to say, which is, "Sir, I was bullied in school by girls named Jennifer. I knew girls named Jennifer. Girls named Jennifer, well, they were my enemies. And you, sir, no matter how hard you try, no matter how long you try, you will never be as scary as a girl named Jennifer." But he's already talking again. "I'm good looking. Everybody on this subway car can see it, and you are hideous. I should know." The subway car pulls into St. George Station and the young woman gets off. And so I get off too. When I get home, my son can tell that I'm rattled. And he's 6 feet tall and he opens his arms and he gives me a big hug. And he says, "Mama, you are so worthwhile. You are so funny. You tell such wonderful stories." That man on the subway car wanted to know who was going to defend that woman. And so I stood there silently and I watched. And he did not say another word to her. That's how I defended her. Thank you so much.
Manually
Thank you, Sage. And